Hey, a few hours back. Mitchell here, back on the Sports Hub. Today I'm gonna be doing some Week 1 NFL picks. That's my last subject for tonight before we wrap it up to Christmas morning tomorrow, where there will be touchdowns underneath the tree from Aaron Rodgers to Davante Adams, and hopefully a couple Aaron Jones rushing touchdowns as well. I just completed my pick'em challenge. You have to pick how many points the Packers would score in the game and the total points of the year, and then along with how many games they would win. So the synopsis on that is I have them scoring 287 points for the entire season, including 20 tomorrow night in a very good defensive battle when they play Chicago. I think it'll be well defensive. I think we'll lose 24-20, but I hope I'm wrong. So it's gonna be really fun, especially I completed that challenge, and now we go on to the other pool I'm in, which is predicting all the NFL games from 1 to 16. At 16, it means you're the most confident that the team will win. Like if I was the most confident that the Bears would beat the Packers, I would put them at 16, but I'm going to change that part, definitely. And before I change the weight and whatever, I'm just going to say who's going to win. And then, so, First, we'll start with the granddaddy of them all. My Green Bay Packers will be in Chicago to play the Bears. As much as I think we might be close at winning this game and whatever, I think Chicago is very tough at home. It's their 100th season celebration, and it was ours last year, and it's theirs this year. So their fans are going to be definitely excited, and the crowd's going to be engaged in a humongous game to start the NFL season. NFL's 100. To kick off the NFL's 100th season, excuse me. Now let's go down the list, because then the next games are at 1 o'clock Eastern. We had the Ravens and the Dolphins. I think this is obvious. I mean, Miami has Jay Cutler as their starter. I mean, I can't really say much more than that. Lamar Jackson hasn't been playing that bad lately. From watching a couple of games last year, I don't think he looked that bad. It definitely takes some time and structure to get used to reps in the NFL. Excuse me, so I'll take the Ravens in that one. Atlanta, Minnesota, this is definitely a toss-up, but I like Kirk Cousins and company at home just because they're very tough at home, and Atlanta wasn't close they were at the postseason last year, but I think they'll really struggle against Minnesota, and then especially if Delvin Cook keeps it going and Stephon Diggs. If their offense really lightens up there and they really start out well, I think it'll be most of the game where Minnesota will just beat them. So I had the Vikings getting the dubs to start 1-0. Kansas City and Jacksonville, this is obvious. Actually, Nick Foles will be starting at Jacksonville. This first year is his first year there after being the Super Bowl 53 MVP in the Super Bowl where they upset the Patriots that year. He's going to be starting with Jacksonville this year, and it's going to be interesting to watch. But I don't think their defense won't have any room to stop Mahomes and company either. So let's go with Kansas City to win that game. Up next, we have my twin brother's favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. They'll be playing the Washington Redskins. I don't see the Redskins being very consistent at the start, especially when they're on the road. So we'll take the Eagles to start 1-0 here. And the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield is in a second year in the NFL, and they are going to be the team to watch. Duke Johnson will be back, and then the biggest offseason acquisition, as I mentioned in the video about the Super Bowl teams, Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, seriously, he has like the most stud catches that you'll see, especially when he did it in that one Sunday night game. I remember watching it like yesterday, and I'm like, oh, we have one superhero coming into the league, and he's a true beast, and I cannot wait to see what he does there. And him and Mayfield, I think they'll really transition well together, especially when they're at home. And Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wilson, the number one CBS team, they're really thrilled and excited to call this one. On the sounds of it, the Titans Browns game. So I really think they're gonna go 1-0 and have the crowd cheer as loud as like if they won the Super Bowl, because they are some of the most supportive fans in the NFL, even though they've never even been to a Super Bowl. They're just so supportive and loyal to their team no matter what. And be cool for Cleveland to start out that way. Next we have, I think the Jets will take the Dubs over Buffalo. That's a noon game. We're Central Time here in Wisconsin. And then I have the Rams beating the Panthers, but don't be surprised if it's close because Cam Newton and company are very tough at home. And they also have Christian McCaffrey too, and he's also going to be a tough playmaker as the Panthers keep pouring along with the season. Excuse me. Yep, that was a better solution there. And here we have the Bengals and the Seahawks. I first was going to pick Cincinnati to upset Seattle, but I think Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson and company will definitely beat them. And Andy Dalton and the new coach, since Marvin Lewis is gone, I think they're going to struggle a lot more this year. And especially starting off with an opening day at Seattle, I don't see that game even being close. So I'll go with the Seahawks to start 1-0. The Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers under Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen, they're going to they're going to start 1-0 against Jacoby Brissett in Indianapolis. It was shocking to hear that Andrew Luck retired at 29 years old, but don't be surprised, folks. I'm probably one of the very million to say it right now. Don't be surprised if he's back in the league in 2 or 3 years, because that's really early to retire, and teams that are looking for a quarterback will desperately be looking for him because he really had the statistics. He didn't win a ton in the playoffs, but he had the statistics to stay in a team that relatively made 500 or wild card caliber type of team. So that's what I'm thinking there. Detroit and Arizona, man, this is a top. Kyler Murray, it was hilarious watching his preseason snaps. I mean, I couldn't believe how bad he really looked. I know it's preseason, folks, but yeah, every time he tried to scramble with it was either a fumble or he slid down like he was sliding out of bounds. He was sliding inbounds, and I didn't think that was the right start for him. But I think this will be a very good game actually. But I say the Lions will start 1-0 and grab a big victory in Arizona at Glendale, Arizona. Next, we have the Cowboys. Eli Manning as of now isn't starting for the Giants, but I think the Cowboys with Zeke and Dak Prescott, I think they're gonna have enough home power to win the first game at Jerry's World for the year. So, yep, they'll beat New York, and then Tampa Bay and San Francisco. They will get Jimmy Garoppolo back, so we'll see. But I'll take San Francisco for now, and if I change it, I change it. But that's for now who I'll go with. And then this one's very obvious, folks. It's a good game to cap off a Sunday with Pittsburgh and New England. But Roethlisberger was injured most of last preseason, and he continued to struggle throughout the year. And they also lost Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell too. Le'Veon Bell's also with New York, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that throughout the weekend, see how he does too, as the Jets are also transitioning under quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick as well. So those are two key losses, especially when they come to Foxborough the first game. I don't see that one being close, so we'll take New England. Lastly, we had the 2 Monday night doubleheaders. Houston Texans and New Orleans Saints. The last game is Denver at Oakland, which is the Raiders' last game at the Oakland Coliseum. It's actually their last year as the Oakland Raiders before they moved to Vegas. So those will be 2 excellent games to end week 1 in the NFL season with. I mean, it'll be cool to watch both of them and celebrate that the 100th season is still here and all the great moments that will be eventually coming. So let's predict these two. I think New Orleans is really tough at home, and I don't think Houston, Deshaun Watson I don't think they can beat them. So we'll take the Saints in that one. And then this is really interesting. Joe Flacco was signed with an acquisition with the Denver Broncos, and Derek Carr is back with the Raiders as well. And then Antonio Brown's a big key maker under John Gruden's squad. But I heard rumors if John Gruden doesn't do well this season, he might get fired, and I wouldn't be surprised on that. And Monday Night Football might be ready to get him back too, because Morgan McFarland, I think he's a so-so for the ESPN commentating, but they kind of have a rookie announcing team. They have a long way to go, but that's what I think about him. But anyway, yeah, he's definitely on the hot seat if they don't do very well, especially at the start of the league. And I think Joe Flacco and company will be close, but Oakland might be tough at home. So I'll say I really don't have a decision with this game. So I'll leave it at that, everyone. Happy NFL Kickoff Eve, and it's the most wonderful time of the year. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And see you all next time.